Hey everyone, I'm Jacob. I'm one of the co-founders of Standard Lib. That's Standard Library as well. And we are a platform for really quickly and easily shipping APIs. Now what does that really mean? So the best way I can go into what we're about and why we provide value to developers and our customers is really going to my own background. So a lot of these talks that I've seen lately begin with something like the presenter saying something like, oh, I've been programming since I was 3. I built my first, chatbot when I was 4. I've been doing this forever. I actually didn't start programming until I was 18, which is a bit late. And what I found when I was building my first web app was that it was for a class project, and I was just so baffled by AWS, I almost gave up. Fortunately, what came to my rescue in that case was a company called Heroku and their mission about simplifying the way deployments are, web app deployments are done. But that really kind of inspired in me this seed, I guess, of development should be easy, and developers shouldn't have to worry about configuration. Developers like writing code. They don't like worrying about, oh, how many EC2 instances do I have up, or how many Google Cloud containers am I worrying about right now. And to that end, we've developed something called CodeXYZ. So CodeXYZ it's an online code editor, as you can see, and it's designed to very quickly allow you to ship APIs to the Standard Lib platform. So I'll show you a quick demo of how powerful this can be. I guess we built this with what we call less skilled, not really we call, but less skilled developers in mind. So developers who may not be super comfortable behind a command line, developers who may not have grown up programming since they were 3. But for more sophisticated developers, this simplification in how much configuration you need before you can ship something that scales and that provides value can be valuable as well. So the first step here is to sign in. So if you have, I've already registered, so I'll just put my details in here. And I'll create a new API here, so I'll call it SF-HTML5. And I can see here I've got a, hopefully you can all see that. I've got a screen here, and immediately I can see a module exports function, space for putting parameters. And it's a simple API here, but I can actually just hit run immediately right away. And you can see it's uploading, starting service. And I actually have an API that I've just shipped in, how long did it take me, like 10 seconds? I can modify this in place here, so I can say I am really good at creating this API with Standard Lib and CodeXYZ. I can just hit run again. So the iteration speed is really quickly. And by the way, this is, again, shipping to the Standard Lib platform. We host this, take care of scaling, 0 configuration, as you can see. I can test with parameters here, so I can say Google. Hello, Google. I'm really good at creating this API with Standard Lib and CodeXYZ. The parameter is just right here. It'll default to world. So yeah, the iteration is very quick, and I can actually even import NPM packages. So I could do const. And what will happen here is it'll automatically go find the Firebase package from the NPM registry, and this is now part of my API. I could use this as, I can't remember Firebase's API off the top of my head, but like, yeah, Firebase dot do something. Or same thing goes for something like Watson, so I think I don't know if they have their own SDK, but you get the idea. And show you even non-sophisticated developers. So you can imagine, this is a very trivial example, just returning basically hello world, but I can instead say, there was a security breach from IP address. I'll change this name parameter to be IP address, and I'll default this to like 127 localhost by default, whatever. So you can picture a case here where maybe you have a platform that sends webhooks out whenever there's an intrusion. And I'm going to show you right now, it's going to be a notification service, essentially. So when you get a security breach, it'll send a text message to a number, and a security analyst or whoever needs to be notified can immediately respond. So we use something called, to send the text messages, we're going to be using something called MessageBird. It's one of our API partners. They're API telephony company. And they actually have their own page on the Standard Lib library. It's right here. So when I mentioned that we make shipping APIs really well, shipping API is quite simple, it goes beyond just hosting. We actually provide services like documentation. So you can see if I click into this message board API, we have the terms of service here up top. You can actually see exactly how you would use this in an API MD file. And then you can actually try this from your browser. So you can see exactly what parameters this takes, so recipient, body. And actually, when I publish an API, it gets its own page here as well. So I can see that to call this, I need to basically require the lib package. Lib is our main SDK for calling standard lib functions. And I can specify version numbers as well. So I'll throw this into code XYZ, and I'll say, I'm actually going to cheat a little bit here, just for time's sake. Lib.message, oops. dir.sms create. Recipient's going to be my phone number. And body will be this value here. Oops, and I just deployed it by accident, but it's no big deal. It'll just freak out. And let's actually return this as well, so we don't need to wait here. Wonderful. So now when I run this, and I'll turn my phone volume up, I actually need a token. We actually do authentication as well, so I'll just do that really quickly. I have an environment JSON file. I can actually, so when standard lib has its own token system, I can just insert my library token here, just like that. So now it's in my environment variables, and I can just do authenticate by adding it here. Okay, now let's hit run, and hopefully I didn't screw this up. Wonderful. So you can see the text message sent here. This is the result, and in a second, I get a text message saying there was an IP security breach from IP address 127.0.0.1 localhost. So you can envision, like even a junior developer quickly and rapidly shipping something that could provide a lot of value to your organization. And that's really what we're about at Standard Lib, simplifying development. Sophisticated developers, non-sophisticated developers alike. There's a full suite of command line tools backing this up as well. It's not just a online editor. So if you need to manage your functions in greater detail, we provide that ability as well. And my name is Jacob Lee. I'm one of the co-founders, and I guess I'll be around after for questions. Thank you.